friends. It's Kate Steinberg here. It's supposed to be sunrise, which is happening, I guess, but it's hard to see. And this is what I've been thinking about this week. This when old stuff comes up, and it's the holidays. It's Thanksgiving. We've just sat around tables with families and things, and whether you have or haven't, maybe your Thanksgiving wasn't sort of what we typically think of, but whatever it was, with it being a holiday, it brings up old stuff, memories, or just family dynamics, whatever it is, old behaviors. I know that for me, having been someone who's attempted quite a bit of work on myself, on changing old patterns and investing in my own healing, and continuing my spiritual journey, which I'll venture to guess that anybody watching this is trying to do those things too, or you'd be quite bored here. But having been someone who's invested in my own healing, going back into old family systems and being immersed in them brings up stuff. It brings up old patterns. It brings up old anxieties and fears. And I think one of the hard things for somebody who's on the path of healing or spiritual enlightenment or recovery, or however you think of that, is it feels like going backwards. It feels like a step back. And that's always a little hard to take, even though sort of cerebrally we can know that that's part of what the journey means, and that also is likely means that it's somewhat unavoidable, that along our journey, along our path, old things will come up, and it'll feel like we've taken a step back toward the person we've been healing from. And a couple things come up. It's sort of like, okay, if we're going to accept that, then what can we do about it? Well, one of the big things is do the things that care for you, that nurture you, that grow you in the ways that you desire to be grown. So whether that's prayer or meditation or yoga or quiet or time alone or a bubble bath or whatever it is that reconnects you with you, the deep, true you, not the ego you that falls victim to so many frustrations and anxieties and old habits, but the real essential, the divine you, your divine image that's in each one of us. So double down on those things during this time. And you're going to probably think, like I do, that there's not time for that. There's hardly time to do everything I have to do. Okay, so this is something you have to do. Let's change that language. If you want to be healthy and whole and well, this is something you have to do. So, of course, it makes me think of Jesus, who was regularly taking his time away from the people to pray. And it would have been very easy, at least with today's mindset, to say, like, well, that's a waste of time. How much good could Jesus have done if he wasn't always taking naps and going to the mountain to pray or spending time in the wilderness? Like, he could have accomplished so much more. You got to think, the man's whole ministry was 3 years long. And you can take time for a nap? To us, that seems somewhat astounding, but it would appear that Jesus saw it as essential. And to me, it also exhibits a certain faith that things will continue to unfold, and a certain resistance to sort of grind culture or productivity. It's becoming more common to be like, my worth is not in my productivity, I'm not defined by my productivity, but to live that is a different thing. So when the old stuff comes up, the best thing you can do is just double down on what makes you feel whole and connected and loved. Reach out to your people. Say your prayers, do your journals. Whatever it is for you. Because it's going to happen. And we're just entering the holiday season. So it's likely to happen more than once. I mean, assuming you're human. So I hope that gives you some faith and hope that these kinds of things are normal, number one, and number two, that we don't have to shame ourselves. We don't have to run at these issues full force and try to tackle them, but that the actual answer is to take better care of yourself. Even more better care of yourself. May you find a way to care well for yourself today, like these people, who seem to be doing some exciting self-care and well-being. enjoying each other. Find some way maybe to get outside today or to connect with somebody that you love. Find some way to nourish the deepest part of you. Grace and peace, friends.